The day they fired me, the office smelled like burnt coffee and cheap perfume. I was sitting at my desk, closing out the last of my emails, when my manager's shadow blocked my screen. Her lips curled around the words like she'd been rehearsing them for weeks. "Pack your desk. You're terminated." I didn't ask why. I didn't argue. I just looked at her, slow and steady, until she flinched. Then I smiled, not wide, just enough for her to see I wasn't surprised. Because I'd already left. And she didn't know that what she thought she was taking from me was already gone. Flashback, 2 months earlier. It started with a funeral. My boss, Margaret, collapsed in her office on a Tuesday afternoon. Heart attack. Gone before the ambulance arrived. I was the one who found her. I stayed until her family came, until the paramedics zipped the bag. She was more than a boss. She was the one who had pulled me out of a failing department 3 years ago and handed me the biggest accounts in the firm. At the wake, her husband took me aside. His eyes were swollen from grief. "She trusted you," he said. "I know she'd want you to keep running her portfolio. 12 long-term clients. $1.2 million in annual contracts. Her life's work." I nodded, but I didn't tell him I'd already seen what was coming. The signs had been creeping in for months. The new regional manager, let's call her Dana, had been circling my accounts like a vulture, sitting in on my calls without invitation, asking for status updates that had nothing to do with her role. At first, I thought she was just ambitious. Then I started hearing from clients, subtle things. She was emailing them directly, offering additional services under her name, taking them to lunch without me. One night I stayed late, walked past her office on my way out. She didn't see me. She was too busy scrolling through my client list on our internal CRM, jotting notes. That's when I knew. She wasn't building her own empire. She was coming for mine. So I didn't get angry. I got quiet. I started keeping my conversations with clients off the company email, phone calls only, private meetings. I updated contact information, my personal cell, my personal email slipped casually into conversations. And then, slowly, I started shifting things. Every renewal date moved up. Contracts rewritten to be with me personally as their account lead, not the firm. I spoke to legal, off the record, to make sure every signature was airtight. By the time Margaret's funeral came, the portfolio Dana thought she'd inherit was already out of the company's hands. Execution began the day after the funeral. The clients knew about Margaret. I kept the calls personal. No sales pitch, just, "I'll take care of you. I always have." One by one, they agreed to follow me. I didn't quit right away. I waited. Let Dana think I was grieving too hard to be a threat. She kept pushing, showing up in my meetings, asking for my files. I gave her copies, but not the originals, never the real numbers. By the 3rd week, she was telling other managers that I was dropping the ball. I didn't correct her. I wanted her confident, sloppy. The trap closed on a Friday morning. I walked into HR with my resignation letter. 2 sentences. Effective immediately. No reason given. I handed over my badge, my laptop, wiped clean except for the generic company software. Then I walked straight past Dana's office without looking in. Over the weekend, I moved into my new workspace, a small glass-walled office in a building 3 blocks away. My own name on the door, my own contracts in the drawer. By Monday, my phone was ringing off the hook with familiar voices. Clients telling me they'd moved with me, that they'd already informed the company they wouldn't be renewing. 1 week later, Dana came for her victory lap. She called me into her office. Her tone was almost gleeful when she said it. "Pack your desk, you're terminated." I wanted to laugh. She thought she'd cut me off at the knees. But here's what she didn't know. By then, there was nothing in that desk worth packing. She must have sensed something when I didn't protest, when I just gave that small, calm smile and walked away. Maybe she thought I was in shock. Maybe she thought I'd crumble later. That afternoon, I sat in my new office, watching the rain streak down the glass, and thought about Margaret, about loyalty, about how quickly ambition turns into betrayal, and about how easy it is to take everything from someone who thinks they've already taken it from you. 2 weeks after my termination, the firm sent a desperate mass email to all my former clients offering discounts and bonuses to stay. No one responded. A month later, I heard Dana was no longer with the company. No press release, no farewell party, just gone. I never reached out. I didn't need to.